Have you ever seen a Skyline, a Hilux, or some weird Euro van and thought to yourself, why can't I have that? Well, you can, but it's not as easy as just throwing money at the problem and driving it off the boat. No, this is the United States of bureaucracy, baby. And Uncle Sam doesn't make it easy. But don't worry, today I'm gonna tell you exactly how to import a car into the US without losing your money, your mind, or your car to the feds. But buckle up, this one's gonna get a little bit spicy. Okay, so first up, why is importing a car so hard? Well, the US has some of the strictest vehicle regulations in the world, specifically the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, and NHTSA, National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, just want to make sure that your JDM isn't a secretly rolling death trap or a pollution machine. So unless your car meets their standards or is old enough to be exempt, it's illegal to import. But don't freak out, there are ways around this, and the most common way is the 25-year rule. The 25-year rule is the reason you see all these sick 90s imports hitting the US roads today. The rule says if a car is at least 25 years old, based on its production date, it is exempt from NHTSA regulations. No crash tests, no modifications, just pure, beautiful foreign metal on US soil, which isn't something that I would ever think would come out of my mouth. The EPA is slightly different. They require the car to be at least 21 years old to be exempt from emissions rules. So it's over 25, you are in the clear, baby. Let's go! But if a car is younger than 25 years old, it gets a little tricky and expensive and oftentimes impossible. It's a reason why we can't get a brand new diesel-powered Toyota Hilux in the US. If you want to see a video breakdown on that, that's also because of the chicken tax and Lyndon B. Johnson and American chickens. All right, let's get down to business. First step, of course, you gotta find your car. You gotta know exactly what you're looking for. And there's a couple different places you could do this. In Japan, there's auctions, dealerships like Gunet, B Ford, and the Japanese classics. In Europe, you have different collectors. You could look at specialist dealers or brokers like Car and Classic. Australia and other countries, you gotta look for brokers who specialize in exports from that country. Most importers use a broker in the country of origin to handle their bidding, paperwork, and shipping. And it's totally worth it. You just have to understand that an importer is going to make a margin on whatever they buy it for from a broker or wholesaler in that home country. Step 2, hire an importer, or you can do it yourself if you really hate free time. You need someone to bring the car over legally. Enter the registered importer. These are the real MVPs of the whole process. An RI handles customs, compliance, and modifications if needed. Some importers in the US are top rank importers, Japanese classics. Bring a trailer, which is really good for rare European cars. If you want to DIY it, you got to be ready to fill out a mountain of forms, argue with customs, and pray you just didn't screw something up. Just use a pro, in my opinion. Once you buy a car, it needs to get here. You got two options, roll on, roll off, RORO. It's the cheapest, but your car's exposed to the elements, and if the seas are a little gnarly, you've got salt exposure and all those things, it's risky.
What the f is going on out here?
But it's definitely cheaper. Or you can do container shipping. Actually, a car goes into a container, it's protected, but it's definitely way more expensive. When it arrives, you need to deal with US Customs and Border Protection. You'll need a bill of sale, export certificate, EPA form 3520-1, the DOT form HS-7, and Customs 7501 entry summary form. And of course, you're gonna need money, and lots of it. So once it clears customs, you need to get a title and registration. Some states are chill. Looking at you, Montana. Your LLC loophole, looking all nice and sexy for us car importers. While others like California, a lovely state that we live in, will definitely make you cry for more reasons than one. If your car is 25 plus years old, this part is pretty easy and straightforward. If it's not, you might need to go through a show or display rules or federalize it, which can cost tens of thousands of dollars. And unless you're driving around in a brand new Bugatti, I would not recommend doing this. All right, so what's the damage here? What are we talking from a cost standpoint? Here's a rough breakdown. To ship the car, it's anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000. Of course, if you have a dedicated container, it could be upwards of $100,000. The actual shipping from the port of entry to your location, again, anywhere from $500 to $5,000, depending how far it's going. Custom fees are typically 2.5% of the car's value. Registered importer fees are $1,500 plus, and then the state registration really differs from state to state. The bottom line, a $20,000 JDM car could end up costing you closer to $30,000 or more after importing fees. But if it's rare and it's legendary, it could totally be worth it. Importing a car is definitely not for the faint of heart, but if you do it right, you'll end up with something that nobody else on the block has. It has more power, more style, and of course, more flex, baby. So if you got patience, money, and a deep hatred for US car laws, go for it. Do it. Do it. So I gotta know, if you guys end up finding an import and bringing it into the US, you gotta send me a picture of it at Forge4x4 on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching. If you like content like this, make sure to like and subscribe. It helps us produce more content and really helps break the algorithm so we can get content like this out for you guys.